What's going on?
What's good, my man?
Oh man, it's just another week. God is good, you know. Make sure I got this all right. Yeah, yeah, man. How was your week, man?
I was good Labor Day week. Good chance to get some rest. How about you?
It was good, man. I went to Florida State Notre Dame game. It was lit.
Oh man,
It was amazing. But yeah, it was dope, man. Full house. I think it was like 80,000 in there, man. And it felt good to get out, man. You know, the game was
same like
good.
the normalcy there.
Oh, a lot. Oh man, it was like 2018, man. It was, man. I remember when we was going in line, and I was bold with it, man. I was like, yeah, no mess, man. I'm gonna rock with it, you know. So I was with my son, man. We start getting close to the ticket place, and it's just packed, man. I put that mask on so fast, man. I was like, nah, man, I'm cool. Somebody got the COVID up in this mug, this little pack. But But yeah, man, it was fun, man. Then we went into the game. This is my second Florida State game, so I totally enjoyed it, man. They were down, and they put this other quarterback in. He's a fifth-year senior, and he brought him back, and man, the crowd was going crazy. And then they had a couple of veterans in there that came through. Um, they flew the jets over there, and then the crowd gave them a standing ovation, and yeah, it was a nice time, man. I enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to go to another game sometime soon.
Okay, yeah, I was watching on TV, man. It definitely looked like it was packed. Looked like a good time. Saw the hands were going.
Yeah, man, my son was set tripping, man. I was like, man, I had to remind him, like, you from Pittsburgh, right? It's supposed to be Penn State fans, but he was out there embracing it, man. It was really enjoyable, man. Um, yeah, man. Nobody had a mask on. That was interesting.
Mm.
That's freedom in Florida, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, um, now apparently some people weren't happy about the decision making. They lost the game, right?
Yeah, they lost the game. What happened in overtime? Uh, the dude missed the field goal, man. That's what it was. They
Mm,
froze him. They froze him, man. He made the field goal when they called the timeout. Then he had a couple minutes to think about it, and he missed it. Then the other guy, Notre Dame went down there and kicked it. But one thing I learned about football, I think Bobby Bowden said that because they actually gave him a tribute to the game as well. But it's like the first game usually is where all the mistakes are made. You know what I mean?
right.
So that's where you see the most upsets. Because they're like doing full starts and different things like that. So I definitely saw a lot of that with Notre Dame. Notre Dame did not impress me in this game. They had this one big dude. He was like number 87. He was 6'4". He was doing well in the first part of the game, but then they kind of shut him down. But if Notre Dame gonna play like that next I don't know who they play next, but they didn't impress me at all. I think they're like ranked number 9 in the nation.
Mm,
But
wow.
you know what they say? They said when you look at a horse race, first and second place is real close, but first place make all the money. They win by a nose. So I guess talent ain't that much the difference. I think at the end it's just about discipline. With the fundamentals and what have you. But I was I'm definitely going back to another game, man.
Mm. So you
Yeah,
now I heard heard a lot of them games were pretty lit, man. I think the Alabama ones should probably be good if anyone down there in Alabama watching. Roll Tide.
man. Actually, man, I'm trying to hit that up, man. I'm gonna try to go to that game. Alabama played Tennessee
Mm.
in November. And they play Auburn too. So I'm gonna pick one of them games. I'm gonna go down there and check it out. See what the hoopla is about, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
here at Pitt, we got. I guess it was an expected win, but Pitt came, did their thing. I don't know how they're going to do for the rest of the year, but
Yeah, they usually win about 5 games. They upset a couple people.
six, buddy.
Oh, they get a little
They,
cheap bowl game. Did they
they
get a bowl game last year?
pinstripe ball. You
Uh,
know, so
Cotton. They ain't gonna get the cotton, huh?
that's it's a different year. There's actually, like you said, there's people in the stadiums. You ain't looking at little cardboard cutouts, all of that stuff. So it don't seem like it's practice, glorified practice. So I'm pretty sure the athletes are happy, but there's a lot that's going to come with it. So it should be an interesting season.
Man, so you was at the little high school game. Didn't you go to one your son's game? How did that go?
Yeah, well, it was incredible, and at that game, I mean, there were a lot of people there. Wasn't too much of it wasn't a humid night or anything up here in Pittsburgh. You
Mhm,
get that one time a year, well, maybe twice. It's
mhm,
like in April to May, that's where you get the best weather. And then, like, from, end of August going into September, that's where you usually get the favorable weather. It's not too hot, not too cold. You can just enjoy yourself. So,
mhm. What was
yeah,
the score? What did they win?
uh, they gave up a valiant effort. You hear me saying all the different things to not say what's so no, they didn't win, but they going
What
to
was the
get.
score?
Uh, I don't know the exact score.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, well, my internet's not working.
they saw you saw.
Okay,
It sounded like they got beat on that.
it was a learning experience.
Mm, okay. All right. I'll leave it alone. Let's see. It's must be a little touchy subject, but I like how you found the positives in. He's like the environment is sunny outside and the weather was good. And, oh man, the nachos wasn't a stale this time. I see you out here. Yeah, man. So
just got in a car accident. Yeah, we were like, man, but good glory God, I had my seatbelt on, and thankful that I can still see the mirror, and you gotta give thanks. Always look at the positive side.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do gotta give it up for a lot of these high school teams. They did some good work. Bishop Sycamore, we see you out there.
Okay. So who do they play next week? Your school?
It's I don't even remember. I think it's Shaler or something, but I'll have to check it out. But I'm putting a guarantee out there for the W.
Okay. Now we got a great show today, man. First off, but we want to shout out to our sponsors at first because usually we do at the end of the show. But if you're watching us right now on Facebook, go to YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, also hit that notification bell. We're actually increasing our subscribers, man. Yeah, man. Thanks to Will, he out there putting them videos out like it's nothing, man. Man, you gotta check out his videos, man. We might have to play one of them things, man. He is getting so much love and support on YouTube. So, man, I gotta give you another shout out, man. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, but also, Ron out here with the amazing, editing skill. This guy, see, I hate to put it out there, but he probably gonna be making movies soon. So,
man, what is this? What is this, tennis, man? I just gave you a compliment. You gonna give it back, man? What is this?
I can't help it. When you be in sales, you always gotta throw the edification back, But yeah,
no, man, it's all you, man. You out there dropping 50 points right now. Don't put it on me, man. You putting out the quality videos out here. William A. Thomas out here doing it. So I have to give you a shout out, man. You've been putting in work despite all the things you've been doing at your house and with the kids and your wife and all that type of stuff. So I appreciate you stepping up like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're gonna have a good show, man. We got a few hopefully we got a few people calling in because they want to talk about Michael K. Williams. We're gonna give him a shout out, man. He put in some good work on and off the screen. But we're definitely gonna talk about that. Just find that showrunner on there. But can you do that for me? Yeah, so we're gonna definitely talk about that, man. And we also gonna ask some questions, man. It was obviously he died from a drug overdose. Should the government butt in and arrest the drug dealer? Or should we have the freedoms? Because that's what America's about, right? Should we have the freedom to do what we want to do? You know what I mean? So we want to tap into that. And I'll give my views in a minute. Also, we want to talk about Akon. So if you are familiar, if you African or whatever, if you're not, I want to hear your thoughts on it. But Akon basically says rich and famous people go through more issues than the poor. We're gonna jump into that. Is he being a hater? Did he come to America, get the bag, and forget where he came from? Is that what's going on? Or does he have a point? We're going to talk about that. Also, if you want to talk about today, Tasha K, which is one of the biggest YouTubers right now, bloggers, she's been putting people on blast for years, and she's really blowing up. I think she went over 1 million subscribers. Well, she's in a little bit of hot water right now. Is she going to go to jail over R. Kelly for exposing some private federal information? We'll get into that more in depth in a minute. Also, just throwing some stuff out there because we'd like to have this. This is the conversation that we usually have on the phone anyway. This is what we do. So we just opening the world to what we talk about. You know what I mean? Except for this, we won't talk about this. But
allegedly,
Is it cheating when your partner goes to lunch with the opposite sex? Is that cheating? When they know uh what your wife liking her coffee, and he be like, she like, I'm busy. I'm about to make this McDonald's run. You want 3 sugars, no creams? How do you know, girl? Is that cheating?
Mm.
Think about that. Do
Coming
the workers?
going on a burrito run, they know exactly whether you want the hot or the mild sauce.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh no. She's allergic to onions. I already know that.
Don't forget the glucose free.
On a company picnic. So we're gonna think about this. We're gonna talk about that. All right. So we already discussed that right there. All right. Also, for our hip hop heads, what's your thought on Kanye's album? Was it the greatest of all times?
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Is it the greatest? Or was this one of his weakest projects that he had? We could talk about that as well. Now, was Drake's album better? Was Drake's album a R&B album, or was it a rap album? Is this all staged? This Kanye Drake beef?
Yeah, some people want to know, is this WWE we witnessing here?
It's facts. So, right, real quick, we're gonna talk about our sponsors. While we thinking about it right now. But again, if you want us to give you a sponsor, man, just send a cash app to us, and any donation we'll actually promote your business for 2 weeks. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is give you the floor on this one. Now, is there a website for this, or no?
For Steps of Faith, you can actually find that on Facebook, and that's for anyone. If your child needs any type of enrichment, any type of tutoring, whether they're behind or whether you want them to move ahead, because some people, they want their kid to be able to move ahead in the class, be able to take AP classes, things like that, so you can get college credits. Or right now we know that a lot of kids last year, a lot of kids weren't even able to go to school physically and got behind. So this is the time to catch up. So on Facebook, you can actually go onto their page at Steps of Faith Tutoring and Enrichment LLC, and get information there. And
So real quick, it's online? I mean, like, is it like via Zoom or whatever, or is it like
for those who
physical?
for those who are in the greater Pittsburgh area, they offer in-person tutoring right over in the Monroeville Mall, next to Macy's on the bottom level. I've actually been past there a lot of times. And for those who are in the rest of the nation, you have the ability to be able to, or even in Pittsburgh, you can actually enroll in online classes.
Okay, because I know some kids, man. I'm thinking about my kids. Like, you have these agents out here coming after school and they studying, and most of these kids go out there playing PlayStation or something like that. So I'm really thinking about it. I'm like, I need to get some tutoring for my kids. So, can you put the site that's on Facebook? Can you put it up on the screen?
Yeah. Get that up there. Give me a second.
Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely needed, man. Some extra tutoring here. But yeah, definitely we're gonna check this out, and maybe pass it on once you put it up on the screen. So Steps of Faith Tutoring and Enrichment Services LLC. Yeah, so but yeah, man, while you put it up, I'll talk about the little Kanye album.
I'm gonna just put it on the screen real quick.
Okay.
Got it up there. Okay, so everybody could see it on there. Yeah, if you just look it up right on Facebook, they have a pretty nice page. Got some books there. They recently did a back to school program, and all you gotta do is just click on the link to reach out, and they'll be able to. I thought I already had. Let me just read like that. I'm not sure what happened, but whatever the case, pretty decent program. The prices are right also, so definitely check that out. I mean, you're talking about only starting at $35 an hour. Those who have used tutoring services before probably noted that's pretty much nothing. And they recently had a party for their kids who did their summer program, as you can see on the screen. So be sure to check it out.
All right. So we're gonna typically we don't drop the link that early, but we're gonna drop the link real early right now. So if you want to talk about one of these topics, um, 1 second. I got one caller calling in. I'm gonna give me a second. One moment. Yeah. So, but let's get into it, man. Yeah. So earlier, he was following that Tasha K situation, wasn't you?
Yeah, that was kind of unexpected. I didn't expect
Right. Right.
it to come up, but
Matter of fact, I mean, we what we can do for real, we can try to pull it up and talk about it a little bit. We was actually watching that lead attorney. Shout out to him. He was talking about it, man. In the legal standpoint of what's going on now. Allegedly, well, no, it's not allegedly. Tasha K, she usually breaks stories on social media. She's trying to, she fights for women, what have you. So anyway, she got some information that was supposed to be in the court case of R. Kelly, correct?
right.
Right. So she had someone that worked there give her that information. And she actually basically exposed it on her social media with, about let's say 300,000 people watching. And according to their law, he can probably get off. They could do a mistrial because of the information that she put out. Now, you want to elaborate on that, Will?
Yeah, well, if that information being put out was supposed to possibly influence the other girl, and what she ends up thinking, then it could end up being a mistrial because you're influencing the case, behind the scenes. Typically, in these type of things, no one's really supposed to be talking or colluding or anything like that. And I don't think that that's what Tasha K's purpose was. I think that she was just trying to, she's one of them what they call a tea site. They give you the tea, they give you the gossip, they give you the news, and so she's looking to break it first. But you got to be careful with that stuff. That's why you got to have a team of advisors. It's always good to have a lawyer. A lot of people take this YouTube thing like it's a joke or a hobby, but you got to treat this like a business.
Right.
And any business owner, if you own a business and you don't have a lawyer to regularly talk to, you're in trouble. You're out there in water with a lot of sharks. So
Right. And,
yeah,
and there was an influx of people from last year starting YouTube pages, and some of them got really successful. But that's not her story. She's been doing it for a while. Um, and usually people put the business in their, YouTube page in their name, so everything's in your name. Now, I don't doubt that she had an attorney. I'm pretty sure she had an attorney. The question is, because these YouTubers are getting so big to where they're getting Fortune 500 company money. You know what I mean? So if you look at like the other media outlets like CNN, Fox, news, whatever news is out there, MSNBC, everything gets filtered from the top. So when you see like a Don Lemon or Tucker Carlson,
Right.
they have information from the producers, which go through their legal team beforehand. You know what I mean? Like they have a legal team, and then it's all filtered through. So they're just reading off a prompter. But when you have bloggers, which she was very successful, she broke the story with Jaguar Wright a couple maybe last year. Jaguar Wright came out and she started talking. She was from the Roots. If anybody familiar with her, she was one of the first singers on the Roots, and she had a drug problem, went to jail, did all this stuff. But she came out and she started blasting everybody, like Common and all the stuff that behind the scenes. And Tasha came out and broke the story. She actually interviewed her family and different things like that. So she kind of shut her down. So she's really big on that. And right now she has over 1 million followers. So that's the question. And the other thing is, will the guy who, or the woman, I believe it was a woman that was working at the, in that was it the jail or something like that, somewhere where she can have access to the court documents. And when she did it, when she broke the news, she read it verbatim. So that might open up some doors when it comes to the defense team saying, "Hey, it could be a mistrial." So obviously, if this didn't happen, everybody know that R. Kelly would be under the jail. But this is like kind of a thing where if he obviously was going to lose this race, but he could just say, "Hey, my hamstring is hurting. We can't finish the race," and that would be a crazy mistake on Tasha K's part, especially on her movement of trying to, be for the victims. You know what I mean?
It's a rookie mistake, and now, just like you had said, that's why there are all these positions here. From the CEO down to producer, down to the production person, and all those different things. When you are that blogger, you're all of those people. With the exception, you shouldn't be the legal team, but in most people's cases, they are the legal team. Them and their associate, legal person, which is Google. And a lot of times, people they're not even making Google decisions. They're just saying whatever is on their mind. They're just running with these things. So that's why it's definitely important, to, try to research. If you're going to try to do the media thing, make sure that you know what you're doing. And she's been in the game. Reason I said a rookie mistake is because, she's been in the game for a while, so she should have knew better, or she should have studied better. So hopefully it's a learning experience, but yeah, he may be able to declare a mistrial.
Yo, if he get off that album gonna be lit. If he get off, man, he better go to the island where Russell Simmons is. Russell Simmons left America once Bill Cosby went in. He like, "Thank you for coming out. God bless. Good night." Let's get our first caller on there, real quick.
All right, got you. Let's see. We got Keith on there.
What's going on, Keith?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing good, man. How's your Labor Day?
Hey, man, it was fine, man. I was thinking about going to the beach, but then the weather changed, so we just stuck around, chilled out, ate some good food.
Where you located? You in South or?
So I'm in DC.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Washington DC, so I guess you consider that the South.
You
yeah.
What's the closest beach to you?
Man, the closest beach. I forgot the name of it, but the beach that we usually go to is called Rehoboth Beach, and that's like 2 hours away, 2 hours and some change away. And then there's, Virginia Beach. That's another 3 hours. But there's another beach that we don't go to. I forgot the name of it. I can't call it, but I've never been to it though. This is low. It's close.
Okay, so that hurricane came through. Did it touch down in your area? All the rain and stuff.
It didn't hit us hard. Not like areas like Philly, which I was very surprised. And New York, but we weren't hurt like by that hurricane. We just got some rain,
okay,
but it wasn't as bad as the other places. So we were blessed.
That's good.
Right, so, go ahead.
Yeah, Keith, you said you're in DC. Have you ever been to Highland Beach?
No, I haven't been there yet.
You ever heard of it?
I never heard of that. I never heard of it.
Okay, it's a historically I guess like a majority black beach. So I think for over 100 years. It's like 35 miles away. 35 minutes from DC.
Oh, okay. Well, man, I gotta start, man. Going to the beach up here. I gotta start going back to those Caribbean beaches, man. Get some warm water. Up here it's cold water.
You say Caribbean beaches. You Caribbean?
Yeah. I was born in Jamaica. But I grew up here. But whenever I visit Jamaica, go to the beach. It's like one of the best places to go to the beach. You can see through the water. You can see through the water. Water is warm. You don't gotta dip your toe in it, and take your time getting in. You just jump in. So we're gonna make a trip soon.
Nice. That's dope. Yeah. So we trying to put some light on Michael K. Williams, put some respect on his name. Obviously, it was a tragic event that just happened. A lot of people dying from this fentanyl. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, man, it's really unfortunate and tragic and sudden. I didn't know that Michael K. Williams had a drug habit, a drug issue. I became aware of him through the show The Wire as Omar. Everybody knows him as Omar Cumming. But it's unfortunate he lost his life to to drugs, allegedly drugged. The thing is, especially with celebrities, it seems like some type of pattern. You look at some other celebrities who are not actors, like the young guy Juice WRLD. He lost his life to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
DMX recently lost his life to a habit as well. And now you have Michael K. Williams among others. I think he was a rising star. He's been in the business, from what I understand, for years, but he just got noticed because of certain roles, like I said about The Wire. But it's sudden. He was still relatively a young guy. Mm-hmm. I think he had a lot more potential and more to give. But I wasn't aware that he had a drug issue. I was just doing some reading earlier today, and apparently this has been going on for a while. And I think certain roles, recent roles that he had, triggered his drug habit because he had to play an addict. But man, I think this is some type of, it's a symptom of a major and a larger issue. The celebrities, they have a lot of access, and they have a lot of people that don't say no to them. And I think that contributes to the death, especially, when you have things like, I think it was cocaine and fentanyl.
Yeah. From what I read, yeah.
Yeah. So, cocaine is that's a hard drug. That's a hard drug. It's a stimulant, boosts your heart rate. That's a hard drug. It's something, that, really makes an impact on the human system. And also, fentanyl, from what I understand, is very lethal. So those two, that coupling and that combination of those two drugs, yeah, it's going to take somebody out. But, when you're that addiction is something that he was really struggling with. I just feel sorry for his family.
Right.
you know, just another life cut short. It's kind of ironic. He's a black male, and you know, he had all this success and celebrity, and it's just like, you know, there's so much things that come at black males, whether it's the environment but you know, sometimes it's just like, man, the self destruction.
Well,
it's crazy.
So, what about for these? You had said it's hitting a lot of celebrities, and a lot of them, you know, would be in a financially fit situation. They're doing well, and a lot of people would think that they're, you know, happy with the money that they have. Why do you think it's hitting them so hard?
Well, I think part of it, they come into their celebrity with a habit. You know, some people don't start with doing drugs. Well, I believe, I can't prove it, but just looking at the pattern, I think they already have a habit, and with the drug culture and the people that they're around, you know, it's hard. It's hard to get out of it. If you got people, yes men and yes women around you, and they're supplying your habit, it's going to be hard. You're going to be hard hit. No, if a person's not going to say no to you, and they probably give you, and even if you're a dealer, your dealer probably give you free drugs because you are that celebrity, or that guy, that girl. So, you know, just the access, you know, is you know, making them being hit so hard. I think that's one of the things where, you know, the celebrity is almost like their downfall in a way. In addition to, you know, their habit, right? You know, a lot of celebrities, they, you know, if they can, if it's caught with their intervention, they could go get some treatment. Some celebrities do that, but you know, lately it's just like, man, you know, a lot of celebrities been falling, right, and then they haven't been getting the treatment that they deserve. Partly, you know, like I said earlier, you know, it's, you know, now you get the drug culture, especially through music. Drug culture has been there in Hollywood, and then you got, you know, people that always say yes, you know, yes men and yes women. So it's you know, I kind of feel bad.
Let me push back
Go
a
ahead.
little bit, because, you know, isn't this the land of the free? Like, all these you know, armed forces fight for our freedom to do what we want to do. You know what I
Well,
mean?
technically, sorry, go ahead.
So my question is, I wanted to ask you, do you think, because they're actually looking for the drug dealer, do you think the drug dealer should be charged, or do you think we should just put it on the person? If he want to do it, that's what he want to do. If he don't, he don't, because this is America. What do you think?
Well, I'll answer that question where, you know, the right to do what you want to do. Yeah, you got the right to do what you want to do, but you got the responsibility also. There's always consequences to everything. It's in respect to the drug dealer. Drug dealer is selling illegal substances, so it's more highlighted that they're looking for the drug dealer now because, you know, Michael K. Williams is a celebrity. Probably if Michael K. Williams wasn't a celebrity, they probably wouldn't be looking for him. But you know, Mr. Williams had the right to use that drug. That is his body. But you know, at the same time, he was using illegal drugs, right? And it's coming from a source, and that drug dealer is selling it to other people as well, who may experience the same thing that Michael K. Williams experienced, right? Well, I mean, who could potentially experience? They experience death. So, you know, hey, because it's a hyper exposed situation, I think they got some pressure on them to look for the drug dealer. But at the same time, those drugs, cocaine and fentanyl, that those shouldn't be in anybody's hands. It doesn't benefit anybody, even if you want to do it out of your own will.
Well, you know, I believe fentanyl is FDA approved, and And I'm mentioning that because a lot of people make a big deal about that. They act as if just because it's FDA approved, then it must be good. What do you think about that?
It's FDA approved. Well, there's things in our shelves, in our cabinets, that are approved to be in our cabinets and in our bathrooms, right? But we don't use them out of their purpose, right? So those things should be kept in something like a substance like fentanyl should be used within its purpose, right? So it shouldn't be, fentanyl shouldn't be, a drug shouldn't be laced with fentanyl to increase the high, right? Especially especially with everything else that's going on with that drug in the news. So whether it's FDA approved or not, it's used out of its purpose.
Marco, Mark Loco, we see you in the queue. Just give us one more second. Is there anything else you want to comment on, Keith? That we
man,
talked about?
Thanks for letting me be on the show, man. The subject, as far as the pattern of the celebrities passing away from substances is something to be paid attention to, and I hope people our age and younger people, take notice to it, because you could reach success, but there's always some thing that can hinder our success or our lives, to the point of whether it's life or death. So just be careful out there and really cherish, get the help you need if you need that type of help, especially with substances.
Before you go, what do you think about Akon saying that rich and famous go through more issues than than poor people?
I think that's a relative statement. Man, I don't know what Akon is talking about, because I didn't hear that story. But the only thing I can think of is more money, more problems. That's all I can think about. And probably taking care of a lot of people because of the money he makes. But if you don't have any money, if you're a poor person, life is hard, man. You don't got no resources. So it's kind of relative. So I can't say, as far as his comment, I think a rich person has way more options than a poor person. Poor person's options are limited.
So you don't think that rich people have more responsibility because they're the ones who have to pay the paychecks, they got to pay the taxes. If they don't do what they supposed to do, then that means you can't get paid. People trying to sue you everything that you do. You don't think they have more issues than poor actually gets a little bit more help, don't you think? Really, when you're poor, you don't even know you're poor until you see somebody else with something that you don't have, right? Growing up.
When you're rich or you're well-to-do, you got options, you got responsibility. But when you poor, you got desperation, and there's
all right,
problems
so
there.
Let's discuss this poor thing before you go, though, because in my opinion, there's no poor people in America compared to these third world countries. Like, if you go to Jamaica and Africa, if you're fat, you're not poor. They think you're rich. We have the welfare system here where the last 2 years we were able to have rent free for 2 years, money coming in, food. Rich people don't have 2 cars. Poor people don't have 2 cars. You get what I'm saying? Like, poor people don't have cars.
Right. So, all right. So I'm thinking you're referring to hood rich. I think I probably put that word in your mouth, but there's different type of poor, and there's different safety nets that America has compared to other countries. But there are some really poor people in America. There's people that don't have the same appliances is the wrong word, but the same things that we have. So everybody that we see as relatively poor in America, there's different classes of poor. That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that everybody we can't put everything on. We can't just use a big one brush and just make a broad stroke. But everybody, if a person's in need, you need to give them the help. I think we as a society should give them the help. And America does have poor people.
So what's poor to you, like as far as like finances, like because if we look at the individual, every individual gets out of poverty. You know, when you're 16, you're probably making you know what, $10,000, $15,000 a year. By the time you hit 30, you're gonna make more money. By the time you turn 50. So what are we talking about here?
So I don't know the exact numbers, but you know, most poor in America, if you're making $30,000 and below, and you got a family of 3, you're extremely poor.
Well, that's
There's
different.
people living like that.
You have to look at the geography though, because okay, if you're talking about California, yes, but if you're talking about Pittsburgh or somewhere like that, you know what I mean? There's certain areas that's got lower cost of living, correct?
Yeah, there's certain areas with lower cost of living, right? Mm-hmm. But also access as well to different resources. So if you go in places like Alabama, Mississippi, and you're in places that don't have a lot of access to resources, like community resources, and you're making $30,000 a year, and you're a family of 3 or 4, that's poor. Your money is stretched, right? I don't know how much that is a month, but there's not enough money to go around. That's probably like $2,000 a month to feed if you got a family of 4 to go around. That's poor.
But that means, are you talking about a single family? Because if you got 2 people working in the house, is that a single?
If you got 2 people, if it's one person is working, and that one person is the man is working, supporting his wife and 2 children, that's a poor household. That's a poor household.
But don't they get food stamps? They're eligible for food stamps. They probably don't have to reduce on their rent.
They may or not, depending on that state. Depends on what the threshold is. I know, I'm aware that if you're on public welfare, you can't hold more than $2,000 in your bank account for certain programs. But if there's the working poor, which we were just discussing, right? There's a lot of people that fit in that criteria where they're working. They don't see any. They're not moving. They can't get by the best food for their family or themselves. They can't get into the necessary housing.
Hold on, man. Yeah. I just went to Publix, man, and I was in line waiting for my crab legs, and some lady, there was a family next to me, and they were like, "Oh man, I see you got your food stamps." Meanwhile, I don't have food stamps. I'm not against that, but they could get crab legs with food stamps, man. What are we saying? The crab leg shrimp. This is a different type of poor now.
Well,
and then I saw them get into an Escalade and they drove off, but I digress.
Well, once again, that might be an anecdotal situation right there. That's a family that you saw, but everybody ain't existing like that. A lot of people ain't.
They had a tank top on with the belly showing. What you think with the what you call them, the Crocs and the bonnet on the head? What do you call that?
that sounds like some Monique stuff right there. I ain't.
Yeah, you touching it.
I try to have no callers cussing in, man. Callers coming in and cussing.
I hear that, man. I appreciate it, man. Last thing, man. Did you listen to that Kanye album before you go?
No, I didn't. Well, I heard a snippet of it on the radio, and one of the albums was one of the tracks was Donda, and from what I heard on the radio, all the tracks said was Donda. But other than that, I ain't hear the album. I think from the thought, the sentiment that I heard was, people were kind of they felt let down, but I ain't hear it.
Hey, I feel you, man. I don't blame you for not listening to it, man, because as well as I know. I bet you when you was in college, man. So that Kanye was dope to me. That Kanye was dope.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, man. Is there anything before I go, Will, you want to say anything?
Oh no, I was just going to say earlier. Now, did you say you're from Jamaica?
Yeah, I was born in Jamaica, but I grew up here. I came here when I was very young.
Okay. From what you know, if someone is poor in Jamaica, do they usually stay poor?
If someone is poor in Jamaica, do they usually stay poor if they come here?
No, if they stay in Jamaica.
I would say that there's way more of a class issue in Jamaica, and there's way more barriers. And the access to work, there's not as much opportunities as there is here in America. So I would say things are way harder. The industry in Jamaica is customer what do you call it? Industry? Not customer service, hospitality industry, and certain other industries. It's just not as much opportunity in Jamaica as here.
Okay, so that poor person, now you had alluded to it. They came to here. You're saying they would have a better opportunity to be able to move up, right?
If that person came here and they had the drive and goal to want to do better, they would do better. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to because we got to keep that in mind that even though there are some system issues, there are some class issues here, but as far as upward mobility, we have something to where most people, if they really have the drive and they want it, they can be able to move at least some, jump a couple, thousand up. And
right.
They really want to work, go further. They might have to team up with someone, but whatever the case, I think the opportunity is always there. It's just a matter of how bad people want it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All righty.
Oh man, we might have to put an intro. We got the return. Long time, this person he I heard that he walks on water and glows in the dark.
Facts.
But we got the infamous.
Don't turn them on yet. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going, man.
One.
Yeah, man. Urban legend, man.
Oh man.
In the hood. He walked in the alley.
He lifts weights on the solar plane like Professor X.
He bent 600 pounds, no spotter. Squat 1,000.
Oh man.
One time I saw him walking through the alley and he saw this old lady getting jumped by these 5 dudes and he beat them up by himself. He was in the Navy.
Blindfolded.
He swam across the Atlantic Ocean. Let's put him on. Let's go. Marloco, what's going on?
Hello, fellas. It's been quite a while since I've been on your stream.
What's cracking, man? What's cracking with you, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just chilling, doing me. Just came back from the gym. I did a little bit of cardio.
I see the trap, Zoids. Since the last time, we should put the picture from last time to now, man. We see your gains.
Yeah, man. I ain't gone a while. It's funny, when I don't go to the gym, I just get like thick, you know what I mean? But when I keep going repeatedly, I get cut. The job is working me a little bit, so I have to cut back a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's
man.
all good.
Yeah, so what you do for Labor Day before we jump into this?
I had to work, man.
Oh, you had to work?
Yeah, unfortunately. Holidays mean nothing to me, man. It's another day to me. Another day, another dollar, man.
No, we're going to take vacation, man.
Like,
I know I need to take one, but I don't know. I never take them. I need to. I just like peace and quiet and relaxation, man. That's all I like, man. I like to just chill, play my little PS5.
All right,
rest
so
up a little bit.
for the people out there, man, definitely check out Marco. Put Marco's stuff on the banner. Go right now. Go on YouTube. Marloco. I said Marco. Marco
Or you can
Polo.
look up my name, Marlon Avant. Look that up, Marlon Avant. You can look
Check
that
him
up. It'll
out,
pop up.
man. He gives the
Yep.
real deal on relationships and man, get you back in shape, get you back in the gym. You want to talk about your podcast a little bit before you jump in?
Yeah, my podcast, I talk about things that most people are afraid to talk about. It's kind of more raw. I don't have a lot of streams out there as of yet. I have a lot I got to do though. I'm really backed up. I'll be busy a lot, but I'll probably do one either this week or next week. But my podcast is very interesting. If you want to hear something that you normally don't hear, you want to hear the raw, you want to hear the truth, then come to my podcast. Many more to come. It's interesting. I said my podcast grabs people's attention. I give real emotion and feeling into it.
And
I'm gonna say what I got to say,
to,
whether people like it or not. What's that?
he definitely talk about those beta males. That's what he talks about.
Yeah, man, that's coming up. It's coming up soon. It's getting there. It's a slow process. It's getting there. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man. So what you want to? Oh, go ahead.
What was you recently talking about? Give us what.
I love talking about Shikari, man.
Oh man.
I love Shikari, man. I had to talk about her, man. When I seen her get smoked in that race, man, I was cracking the hell up, man. And I wasn't wishing for her downfall or anything like that. I just thought it was comical because nobody expected that. She got smizzled, man. The Jamaicans left her behind, man. Like I said in my podcast, they left her behind like she had COVID, man. I mean, then she had the nerve to talk trash on him, man. You can't do that. You came in like 8th, 9th place, man. It was, she lost that race like she wasn't even a competitor, man. And then she had that hair hat. And then, you're supposed to tie up that hair hat. And she had that hair hat flapping in the wind. It was like a parachute. Everybody else had their hair hats tied up except her, man. I guess she wanted to flap in the wind.
It's funny, man. It's funny because I was doing some research because I'm gonna do a video about it. What's her name? Flojo.
Right.
Yeah, Flojo, man. She used to wear stuff like that, like the long nails and stuff like that. I'm gonna do a video about it. Apparently, in 1984, they wouldn't let her do the relay because she had them long curly nails.
I could deal with the nails, just the hair, man. That hair hat, man. You can see her. You can see the original real hair just busting out through.
Oh man, that's funny, man. I'm gonna have to rewatch your video because that was good. He was talking. I was sitting there cracking it up. So what you want to touch on, man? You got the floor.
1 second, my mic went out real quick. Hold on. Damn it. I got this new mic thing. Hold on.
What
1
up,
second, fellas.
Ashton? No problem. What up, Ashton, man? That dude's a businessman. He ain't a businessman. He's the businessman. Shout out to Ashton, man. Where you at?
Y'all hear me?
That man.
I hear you good.
Yeah, we hear
Darn,
you.
this darn headset, man. I can't stand these darn things.
Oh, he good, man. But back to Ashton, man. Ashton's dope, man. I see Will about to say something.
Oh
What
man,
about to say?
that guy, he down there in Texas over there lighting it up. He left California. He fled. He got tired of them taking his money. He said, "I'm gonna take my talents over to the land of the free, where I can make
fact. That's a whole fact, not but the facts.
Yeah.
You
But yeah, hopefully we get him on a show in the future so he could spit some nuggets about getting funding. He's helped a lot of people to be able to get funding for their businesses. Actually, we'll have an interview coming out, that I had actually did with him pretty soon.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Yeah, so what you think about Will, what you think about that Akon situation?
Yeah. You said about the Akon? Well,
yeah. What he's saying?
I agree with what he's saying. We heard it, it's so funny. Everybody was singing the song "Mo Money, Mo Problems." Nobody had a problem with the song, but that's what's true. Yeah, the fact of the matter is when you're you are the provider. You're the check for all these people. Imagine, like a lot of people, they're trying to provide for just themselves. Imagine if you were trying to provide for just 5 people, not 5 people, 5 families. So that's like 25 people. You know, you're in charge of whether they get to eat or not. That's big time stuff there.
Hold on, man, but you're defending Acorn. You know, Acorn said black people shouldn't care about slavery and reparations anymore. You know, he said that, right?
Well, I don't know why he said it. I do think that we may be owed it, but if he's saying we shouldn't focus our time on it, then I probably agree because you're going.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
What you say?
Ain't
Say that
nobody
again.
for that.
No, what did you say? Say that again.
We can't put the time into it.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
All right. You know he did a song with what's that snitch 6ix9ine. Is he about self?
I don't know. He has some stuff to say about it. I saw a snippet on the interview, but I don't know because it seems like he wants to do for the people. Like he's creating I think he has a cryptocurrency. He's building things in Africa. So,
Do you think he's like that because he's not American born? He's from country in Africa. You think that's the reason why he's like that?
well, like what? How would you say he is?
I would say he is not sympathetic to the black struggle.
Oh yeah, I think that
He can't relate.
yeah, a lot of people come from over there to here. They unless they grow up young here, they can't relate because they seen a lot of worse things. They're looking at. Remember, Boko Haram was kidnapping the girls. They're worried about that stuff. You go to school and you got to worry about people running there with guns. That's the type of problems they're talking about. So I can feel him.
But you're saying Africa. There's like 54 countries in Africa. That's probably just one area.
Yeah, it's one area, but one common thing that's going on is number one, most of those countries in Africa, they're adhering to some type of higher leadership, and sometimes that influence is not from Africa, sometimes it's from somewhere else. So there's a lot of struggle going on over there, and a lot of times the people, they might have drive and it's going to be harder to be able to come up. They're bringing that same drive that the person who might have been walking 5 miles for water, they come over here and look at us with the water fountain is down sign. They're like psh.
The cities in Africa, some parts of Africa, man. What are we talking about, man?
There's cities in lots of Africa.
But you saying they walking for water and all this, man? You watching the PBS special or something, man? What are we doing here, man?
I know that a lot of countries.
Have you been over there?
I haven't been, but I have found.
So you stereotyping?
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, so we're gonna get Marley back on. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm having a little fun.
Marloca, you back?
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I had to change to my headset, man.
That's all right.
Yeah, the technical difficulties, man. You know how that go. But yeah, I called in, man. Now I don't want to talk about
real quick. Swanee just got off. Just get back on if you can. Yeah, but go ahead.
I just want to talk about Michael K. Williams.
Okay.
I don't know if you talked about him already, but it's such a tragedy. I liked him though, man. He's one of the celebrities that I really liked. You know what I mean? Did some research. I didn't know he's 54 years old, man. They found him dead in his apartment. I think his nephew found him, and they found some heroin next to him. He had some of that heroin next to him. It sounded like he was really getting it in, man. Yeah, he was really getting it in. And I never knew that before he even wanted to be an actor, man. He had wanted to be a dancer. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
He had wanted to be a dancer. And I know he got that slash on his face on his birthday. I think it was his 25th birthday. He got the slash on his face, man. Somebody cut him with a razor. And ever since he had that razor cut, he always gets these gangster roles because that razor pretty much set the tone. You know, he always getting gangster roles. You know what I mean? Because he had that face now.
Wow. Man,
you know
what's your favorite movie or
I like The Wire.
The Wire. That's mine too, man. He played that role to a T. I'm scared, man.
That's what brought him out. That Wire, man. That Wire will bring him out, man. Because I never knew he played in over 90 films, man. Can you believe that?
Never saw it.
Over 90 films, whether it was small clips or not. You know, he's from New York. I think he's from like Brooklyn, whatever. And he played in over 90 films, man. But I liked him because when you looked at him, it's kind of like you seen the struggle on his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt like I can relate to him, man. It's like you seen the struggle, and you felt like he went through what the average black man in America could have went through. You know, he had troubles and everything, man. He went to theater school. You know, he was in trouble. He was getting in trouble first, then he went into theater school. And then, you know, he was chopping down what's the name? Lathan? What's her name? Lathan or whatever?
So not Lathan?
He was chopping her down, man.
Really?
Yeah, you know, he's messing with her.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was like 2015 or something like that. He was chopping her down.
I know he was big on prison reform. I think I don't know if you checked that out, but I think it was they're thinking about putting something in his honor now since he passed away, but he's been working pretty hard for the people.
Yeah, I heard he was a good dude. He said he was a kind dude. He said he was a good dude.
Yeah, I saw it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I looked at his net worth was like $5 million. He's worth like about $5 million. But supposedly he's supposed to be straight.
Yeah, he played that role so
that
good.
Gay shit, he played that gay role kind of good there, man. And then in 2016, he participated in a gay, like in a pride parade in San Francisco. So I always was like curious, like, are you bisexual on the low, or? And then he was doing them drugs. So you know how them drugs take you to the other side.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying?
Do you think the guy who sold it to him, you think he should be charged?
Yeah, he should get charged like any other drug dealer. No, he's a drug dealer.
This is America.
True. Now, if it's illegal, you gotta get charged. You know, if they can catch him, that's on him, man. You know, when you're a drug dealer and you sell to your customers, you got to make sure they survive. You know, you kill them, that's on you, man. It's all in the game, baby. And he messed up.
Dang.
You know, listen, this cocaine mixed with fentanyl, this is just the beginning, man. He's just one of the people that's going to die, man. There was like some comedians, I forgot the comedian's name. They all died from the same thing, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of celebrities doing drugs, man, but this fentanyl, that's a whole another ball game, man.
Yeah.
That's going to take you up out of here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You don't know what's in it, man.
Yeah. And then he been doing, you know how he got hooked on drugs, man? In 2012, he got on, I don't know if it's heroin, I don't know what type of drug it was, but he got on drugs playing a heroin addict in one of the movies, man. I forgot the name of the movie.
Wow.
Ain't that crazy? Real shit. He got on drugs while playing that role, being a heroin addict. I don't know about y'all, man. One thing about me, man, I'm afraid of drugs, man. I'm not trying no damn drugs, man. I grew up around fiends, and you did too, Ron. I've seen fiends every day.
Right.
And look, I can't picture myself doing drugs because I'll be a good fiend. You know what I mean? I'll be too good at being a fiend. Tyrone Biggums wouldn't have nothing on me. I'll be picking up cars, looking for that butter rock, all types of stuff, man. I'll be the best Tyrone Biggums. I'll be legendary. So, you know, I just can't do it. But, you know, people like Michael Jackson, you know, when people are doing concerts and movies and all that stuff, it loosens them up. You know what I mean? You be nervous, you take that sniff, you know, that stuff leaves you. You know what I mean?
Man, but
Drugs.
what about? But now, obviously, I never did drugs before. However,
Right.
what's up? I mean, you can't live a little in the 20, your 20s when your body can take it.
Nah,
Your body
man.
can take it.
Nah, man. Let me tell you, when you
can't get that ecstasy.
nah, because you'll be an addict. You know what I mean? You can't trying to fight it. You become an addict, man. That
Hey,
stuff
man,
do something to your brain when you got to have it. You got to have it. When you got
Hey,
to
man,
have it, that's
it's
a
like
problem.
it's like biting in a peppermint patty, man. You
Nah, man, it's more than that peppermint patty, man. It's gonna change your life forever. You willing to risk it all for that butter rock, for that cocaine, for that heroin, for that fentanyl?
hey,
You know what I mean? It's
Hey,
going
man,
in the end.
you're a kid. You need to live a little, man. Come on, man.
Well, when
Nah, man.
Rogan, he said the mushrooms help him to talk to the aliens.
Yeah. Because them drugs ain't nothing but witchcraft in a powder form or a pill. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing but witchcraft, magic in a pill.
So what do you think about?
It'll take you to the other plane.
So here's the thing, though, because like again, I agree with what you're saying, but my views have changed as the older I got, because like far as people getting locked up for it, in my opinion now, I just feel like it's on you. Like we are in the world of freedom, so if you want to kill yourself, go right ahead. Obviously, we all have family members that it hurt us that they did it because they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But if you stop this one thing, then that's when they'll start stopping everything else. Like, so my thing is, if you want to do it, go right ahead. I didn't think like that before, obviously. I'm like, no, you gotta be locked up. It's illegal, da 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 da. But now the older I get, I'm like, you should have your freedom. So if you want to do what you're gonna do it. What you think about that?
Well, that's the thing. They don't really care about you doing the damn drugs, man. Letting the damn drugs in there. But it's simple fact what you're doing to get the drugs. It's the chain effect. You get people killing, robbing, tricking, spreading diseases. It's what it makes you do to get the drug.
But what if you
hurting
rich? Because rich people doing it.
Yeah. And then you got people
He was
outside.
rich. He was rich, right?
Yeah, he had some cheddar cheese.
5 million worth. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 million worth. He was getting it in.
He was in the penthouse when they found him.
Exactly. So he had it all. He had heroin, fentanyl. He was getting it in, man. It was only a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? It was only a matter of time, and his time was up. When you're doing them drugs, you never know when you're gonna check out, man. You might have that big heart attack, that overdose. You never know. It's like Whitney Houston. Her time was up. She's been doing drugs forever, man. Her time was up.
She didn't do crack. She did coke. Get it right.
I think she did it. I think she did crack and coke.
Let me get your opinion.
She was looking like a crack fiend.
Now
I know what a crackhead looked like. Good.
Now the research is saying that women tend to use smaller amounts. We're talking about heroin, smaller amounts for less time, and are less likely to inject it than men. Why do you think that is?
You know what? I mean, I have no experience with that statement. All I know is that women, they get the tricking to get that high. The time frame, how much they use, I'm not familiar with it, but it's all the same to me. I know women that have OD'd on heroin and drugs too.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't matter. They can take one, one dose, 2 dose, 3 dose. It's all the same to me.
Right.
With how much volume they use.
But it looks like the men are basically overdoing it more. Like the men are dying at a higher rate. And even though none of us three are, using those type of drugs, it begs the question, like, why are the men doing the drugs at a higher rate than the women?
But what if the women getting something different? What if they're giving women a different type of drug? They're giving these celebrities this hardcore. What if they're giving them something to really just off them anyway? You ever think about that? They probably gave them that on purpose. These celebrities probably, give them drugs to keep them under control. They'll always need it.
But then you have to think about it too. If you're saying that, then usually a lot of this is recreational drugs, right? So the man would try to give the same way if you go to a bar, right? If you go to a bar, you try to buy a girl's drink to try to talk to them, loosen them up. So don't you think this is like in a social setting, Will?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't know how that's. I don't think that women are doing drugs alone. So that statistic doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. I think it's a recreational thing. You know what I mean? Now, it looked like the way he died, he was doing it on his own. Some Pookie stuff. But
He got a lot of it, supposedly. You got fentanyl, you got heroin. I mean, what the hell, man? He was mixing everything up.
I don't think they. Here's the thing, though. I think the people who mix it up, they're doing it. Like the people who's using it don't know what's in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
They wanted that pure white from Scarface, but it ain't getting it anymore.
They want that ultimate high, man. They want that ultimate high. Okay, I got cocaine. Okay, yeah, I feel good. Then I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. I mean, they get crazy with it, man.
Because here's the thing with DMX, like somebody laced his stuff when he was 14. Somebody laced it. That's why he became a crackhead.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's messed up. He's a guy he trusted too. Somebody he really trusted. Made him a fiend. Yeah. But that's how it be though. That's how it be. It's messed up, man. He was crying about it, man. He like, dude, somebody I trusted got me on these drugs. That one hit messed him up for life. Imagine what he could have been.
I mean, that's how it is, man. I mean, it's more peer pressure. It's more like I said, social settings. And just in my opinion, I don't have any facts towards it.
I know people that want to try drugs just cause. I mean, it's insane to me. I know people, especially kids, who want to take Mollies and all that. They want to get high. And I'll be telling them, like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why do you want to get high?
If you're listening right now, you get high, man. Just come on here and tell us how it is, man. We ain't gonna come after you, man. If you do it, or if you've done it before. Let me ask you a question, Marlon.
Yeah.
Well, don't answer this if it's gonna get you in trouble. But have you ever used it before?
I smoke weed. That's it. I know people around me that sniff coke.
All right, so back. Let's get to this. This is the weed because I never really smoked weed before. How did that make you? How did that make you feel when you
No, man. When I smoked that weed, people know I don't do drugs. This is like many years ago, man. I was like 16 through 20 something. But when I smoked weed, people they wanted to see me get high. They said, man, I can't wait to see you get high, man. I never seen you smoke weed. I smoked a joint. It was dumb. All I did made me get hungry, and I don't know what the hell was in it. It made my chin numb. I don't know what the hell was going on. My chin was numb, and I got the munchies a little bit. And I realized, like, I don't know if my body just ain't meant for no weed, drug. I was like, this is dumb, man. This ain't worth even smoking, man. Like, it just didn't do nothing for me. But I know people around me was sniffing that cocaine. You know what I'm saying? They was sniffing that stuff, man. It was crazy. They have big ass ball up their nose.
Hey, you ever go in the bar that you see somebody in there like right in front of you, like you don't see it?
No, I see my friends do that. They do it right in front of me, man. My boy had a big ass ball on his nose, man. I said, yo, man, you got a big ass coke ball in your nose, man. I mean, it's crazy how they sniff that stuff, man. They sniff it. The eyes get all big too, man. The eyes be big as hell when they sniff it. And then they start doing crazy stuff. I had a friend of mine, man. He started sniffing coke, and then all years later, he was like bisexual, man.
Whoa.
It was crazy, man. I think coke it just do something to you, man. He started, getting like freaky and doing bisexual stuff, man. I was like, whoa.
Now, was that because I just really started watching The Wire like recently. Tell me about that character that he was playing. Like you said, he was gay. Did it transition to that, or was he always like that?
Well, this is the thing. In the movie, he was a badass and a tough guy, and he was gay. That's what made his character so interesting. That's why a lot of people liked him, because he was a badass and he was the toughest, but he was gay. You know what I mean? So that's different. You don't find any gangster gay cats. You know what I mean? And then he just had a lot of heart, man. He didn't let nobody punk him. He's willing to challenge anybody. You know what I mean? That's why when he got killed, everybody was like, "Oh man," because he's what pretty much made most of the movie. People like to see Omar. He was captivating. You know what I mean? He was about that life.
I watched
that strife.
That's a fact. That's a whole fact. I watched. I remember I watched when Idris, what's his name? Idris Elba. Is that his name? The European dude. I didn't even know he was from another country. The black guy. he got killed on there. I remember watching that. That was a big deal because everybody was sad when he got killed off that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. I just start watching it again. Obviously, it's funny when someone passes away. It's not funny, but it's ironic when someone passes away. We look at their body of work now. You know what I mean?
Didn't that Muslim kill him? The Muslim dude or something? Another dude?
Yeah. Yep. In that building.
Yeah. That was sad, man, because he was one of the pick gates.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to happen in our eyes. We was like, hold up, you gonna kill him? He got caught slipping. He's like, oh, get on with it. I was like, well, damn, man. You got caught slipping, homie.
Right
He went out like a G.
He sort of had no choice. They chased his ass. He ran up the steps.
Yep.
I'm like, damn, dude, you don't got no security or something, man? They caught him slipping like he wasn't nobody.
You know you done when you go up the steps, man.
Yeah, you going up. You're supposed to go down, man. He was running up. They was just like, well, just taking their time a little bit. But he tried to go in the business. He wanted to be legit. And his homeboy was like, man, forget that business. We straight slinging rocks.
Hey.
He wanted to get out, he wanted to kind of get out of it, but he got played. He kept getting played. Politicians playing him. You got to feed the faucet. Dude was just taking his money, tricking him.
Yo, speaking of that, did you see him in Trapped in a Closet?
Yeah. That was good. Yeah.
With R. Kelly.
Yeah. I remember that, man. That was that. Yeah.
He played the cop, I think, in that one.
Yeah. Playing a cop. He don't even fit that criteria. You know what I mean? Well, we all enjoyed it though, man. I like dude though.
I liked him in. He had a little brief cameo in what's that movie? I think I Love My Wife. You watched that?
Yeah.
With Chris Rock.
Yeah.
When Chris Rock was simping.
Yeah. He was simping.
And he went to DC with his Kerry Washington. And then she ain't telling him she had a boyfriend or something, and he was like, "You ain't going nowhere." And he beat up Chris Rock in there.
I mean, Chris Rock messed around. He should have just smashed it. He should smash it and keep it moving, man. If you're gonna do all that, but he cheated on his wife.
He wasn't in the game though. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what he was.
Yeah. But when he got the game, he was all happy. She lit his flame. He started getting all
7-1-1. Pay attention.
Yeah, he lit his flame, boy. He started getting all geeked and pumped up. He ain't felt like that in a while. His wife didn't make him feel like that no more. He met some new meat. When you meet some new meat, you start getting all happy and static. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now, do you Marloco, do you keep up with Tasha K by any chance? You know who she is? Blogger.
Tasha. No, unfortunately, I don't. My time is limited.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm gonna get Swanee on while you're on there. You got a little time to hang out, or you gotta go?
Oh, I'll let you know, man. I'm about to go shower. I've been sitting there for a while trying to be patient to get on your show. Then
That's cool, man. If you gotta go, man, that's cool. But we definitely appreciate you, man.
That's all good, man. Thank you for having me on, man. No doubt, it's been a pleasure.
Definitely, like I said, subscribe to Marloco's channel on YouTube. He got great content, and we appreciate you.
All right.
From Marlon Avant, fire content.
No doubt. One.
Let's get us Swanee on there. You got it. Yo, Swanee, you there?
What's going on, fellas? Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Avatar.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'm driving right now.
Okay,
that's all good. Man, what you want to talk about?
Man, hey, listen, when More Locals on the show, he always bringing that fire.
That's a whole fact.
He like showing up. You know what I mean? When he step on the scene.
Yeah, man. I listen to him, man. When I don't feel like working out, man, I play that stuff. He be like, "Get up and do something. Take that rib out your mouth."
Hey, when he scream at you, you be like, "Oh, okay, that's what's up." Damn, I better listen to More Loco. That's my man.
He talking about death plates. I was like, man, let me stop that.
Yeah, man. He get you thinking, man. Sure, he's like, I don't want to go to your funeral. Man, yeah. So what you want to touch on?
Nah, I want to touch on my man Michael K. Man, Omar, better known as Omar, man, because I watched all 5 seasons of Wire, man. I was into it like that. But just to see him, pass away like that, and like the first day they said, "Oh yeah, it's a drug overdose." I mean, this is all allegedly. Don't nobody know if he had drugs in his system or not. That takes 6 weeks. You know what I mean? The toxicology reports take 6 weeks. So we don't know if it was drug related or not. I think it was a hit, honestly.
Why you think that?
Because man, you just don't go like that. He was scheduled to speak at an event, I believe, that on Saturday, and all of a sudden he didn't show up. You know what I mean? So it's just like the same thing with Whitney Houston. She was scheduled to be at the Grammys, man, and she didn't come out of the room. She was in a tub. Now I don't know who's lacing this stuff or if he even did drugs. But somehow that's just suspicious to me.
I guess hopefully they do the autopsy, man. And they don't lie on that either. But so do you deny that he had a drug problem?
I don't know. I have not heard anything about him having a drug problem until he passed away. So this is my first time even hearing it.
Yeah.
That he had a drug issue. You know, because he just did an interview and he was talking about people not being on drugs. So when he said that, I'm like, okay. And he died of a drug overdose. I'm like, okay. He was telling this to the cameras, and now he died of a drug overdose. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So
that's just suspicious.
So you say because I haven't watched, the whole Wire. I'm actually start watching it now. Can you tell us about his character?
Oh yeah, man. His character was basically he robbed all the drug dealers. Everybody that had money, he just robbed them. And it really wasn't even about the money. He just liked doing it because, these drug dealers was just out there just doing whatever. And they didn't respect him until he came with that gun and that shotgun. He used to come to the neighborhood whistling. It was the funniest stuff. Every time you heard that whistle, Omar was coming. And so it was just crazy. Yeah, there it is. Little whistle. But yeah, he came through, man. And yeah, his character, his character was he was a robber, plus he was gay too. So with those two combined, it made his character unique, man. Because they were robbed together. And it's just, man, he was the dopest person on the show, man. And he got shot and killed by a little dude.
By who?
By a little dude. He had to be like a teenager or something.
Man, so who was Michael B. Jordan on the show? I know he's like young now.
Michael B. Jordan.
Wallace.
You on that show?
Yeah, he was on there.
I'm trying to think what character he was.
I think I watched the one episode. He was like a kid though. He was young. But
it was a dope show, man. I don't know all the characters. I didn't even know the names. I didn't know Michael B. Jordan. I didn't know his name until really a few years ago when I seen his face and I said, "Oh, okay, that's Michael B. Jordan." Mm-hmm. I be watching movies like, oh, I don't be knowing their names until somebody.
Me too. I'm like that too. Yeah, man. You watch him in anything else, or you watch any other movies?
What him in it?
Mm-hmm.
This is one movie. I can't think of the name. But it was something about back in the day. It was what the heck's name was that movie? It was an old movie. But there was a female singer back in the day, and he played as one of the like a baby dad almost. I can't think of the show's name though. He played in a lot of movies though, man.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, man. He's only in his 50s, man. Like
54 years old.
Yeah, like DMX and what's the guy from Houdini? A lot of people down at an early age that's successful and black, man. What was I going to ask you? Give me 1 second here. Yeah, did you listen to that Kanye album?
Man, I listened to a couple of tracks, man, and I cut it off, man.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Now I listened to the rest of it. But he got one decent song. I can't think of the name of it. I listened to that, maybe one other track, and said, you know what, I'm done. I'm listening to this Drake album, see how that is. Drake's album was R&B album pretty much. He had a couple good songs on there, but it's just crazy, man.
Like, see, Will ain't saying nothing, but we was arguing about this on the phone, man. He was. Go ahead and tell him what the people what you were saying about this Kanye album, man.
Look, I'm not saying it's the greatest, but it's polarizing. There's some people that hate it, and there's
you. We talk about you. Don't go there. This generalization that you do. Go ahead, man. You.
I mean,
I like it.
I like the jail song. I just like the hook. Somebody going to jail tonight. God gonna pay my bail tonight. But
what you going through, man? Why is that resonating with you?
I don't know. But
listen, maybe this album got to grow on us.
Man, look, I only could do 3 songs minimum a day, man. It's really bad. I never had to do that with Kanye, man. My son loved it though.
Man.
My son loved it. I'm like, man, he got you. You in the coat. That's what I told
him. Yeah, what you think of Drake's record?
R&B. Only song I like was Jay-Z on it, and that's the only part I like. That Jay-Z verse.
Yeah.
It's redundant. It sounds like his other projects. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
Right now, I still like Nas's album. I like Busta Rhymes' album. J. Cole got an okay album, but I just was not impressed with that Donda, man. You had all this time to do it. Now, I did like the song that got leaked with Andre 3000, man, because Andre's my favorite rapper of all times. Give some respect on his name.
He's definitely a dope lyricist.
Man, I loved it, man. I'm surprised that song wasn't on the album. I don't know why, but yeah. But to piggyback on what you were saying, Swanee, I want to ask this question as well. Why are so many talented Black men dying so soon?
I don't know. That's a tough question. That's a great question too, but it's tough because you got to think of the different lifestyles. You know, when we think about celebrities, celebrities have this lifestyle that they're always around other people. So it almost seems like they got to try to impress other people every single day. And I think that's the part of it that kind of takes them away from their true selves and their humble. They need to humble themselves because they too caught up in the limelight. And for celebrities, they gotta play that character each and every day for themselves, and for everybody else around them. So they're always going to get caught up in the drugs and the life of alcohol and the life of being a player, the life of doing a whole bunch of stuff. And so that's why I think that's part of the reason why that is. But when you think of like somebody like Denzel Washington, you don't hear about Denzel Washington being in the club or smoking or drinking or any of that. You know what I mean? Denzel Washington is a straight up guy. You know what I mean? So he's a husband, and you know he's a motivational speaker at times. But yeah, you know he played in 1,000 movies, but you don't hear his name up in it. But when we hear about these other guys, man, that's wrapped up in these drugs, now laced with fentanyl and all this other stuff, man. We had a close friend of ours that passed away a couple years ago to that. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. These drugs are just killing people. But at the same time, so these big pharmaceutical companies, all these different medications out there, man, that's killing people. And that's the real problem. People have been dying for years from drugs and chemotherapy and different kind of drugs that they haven't even tested on rats. So yeah, I don't know. It's a mixture of everything. And then we got the gun violence in our streets still. Where are these guns coming from? You know what I mean? All these AKs, these Russian AKs, where are they coming from? So I don't. It's a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff, man. As the people, we need to find ourselves again, and just get back to that moral standing. It starts in the household. Like Ron, you always say it starts in the household. I agree with you.
I agree with that. The only thing I would push back on is about the gun violence. It don't matter how many guns you put in, like let's say like the Mexicans, right? If you put a bunch of guns in their neighborhoods, they're not going to turn on each other. They're going to start, they might join MS-13 or something like that. So why do you think that the black people always say this about the guns being put in the neighborhoods when we don't have to use them on each other?
I agree. That's a good point, and I believe it's due to us not knowing ourselves as a people. There's our school systems is dumbing our people down. They're not being taught anything about themselves and about their history and how great it was just here in America. So when we out on the street, we think, the OGs, who's now mainly all dead or in jail still, we ain't got them no more. So when you think about they raising themselves, or some of our dads are still in jail from Joe Biden crime bill. And then we've been miseducated on top of that. So we out here ignorant. So another ethnic group, to them, they've always been a tight-knit community from the very beginning. So if you give them a whole bunch of guns, they're going to uprise and maybe take over their oppressors. We can't do that because we don't know ourselves enough to understand who we are as a people. And if we did that without the guns involved, man, we could be the most powerful people on the planet Earth right now. But we don't think that way because we're not educating ourselves, and we've been miseducated in the school system.
I have to push back on what Will said, talking about Mexicans don't shoot each other. That's why they are coming over the border right now. That cartel is knocking them off. I don't know why you use that as an analogy.
I'm talking about over here,
Well, hold on. Maybe in jail. In jail, they're together. But out in them streets, they shooting each other.
Yeah, most definitely.
Womp womp.
I'm just going on to the CDC website so I can give you the stats right now.
You believe the CDC? You just bashed them last week.
Don't go on the CDC, Will, man. Forget the CDC.
Smarty didn't he bash them last week? Now they credible source.
Hey, listen. Hey, Will, listen to the whole Kanye album. That's why, man. That's what he's going back to CDC.
You like it. We can't go. You lost your credibility.
No. Just because
Nah, my brother Will. Nah, I'm just joking.
I'm just serious. Go ahead.
That was a heck of a ride on that album, but it's not as bad as you make it seem. You got to get this.
You listen to Funky Cone Medina when you taking showers, don't you? Funky Cone.
Tongue low.
What you gonna say?
What about them CDC records? Where'd you pulling up? Well,
it's saying that I see something that's saying that family violence is lower, but let me see. Okay. I'll have to get on that later, but from what I see, yeah, there is crime that happens against each other, but it's not at the same rate.
You need to go to the FBI statistics on that, because they have accurate statistics on that. What I will say, when we talk about the shootings, according to FBI statistics, African Americans are doing the most killing here, like Tupac said. Well, last year, whites had more killings last year, but typically it's always black people with 13%. So, but we'll see what happens because they're coming over here now. Those numbers are going to change. The Mexicans, they over here now.
Here we go, right here. The leading causes of death for Hispanics. Okay. Number 1 is heart disease, 2, cancer, 3, unintentional injuries, for stroke, diabetes, chronic liver,
That's
suicide.
all that. That's all that rice they eat, man.
Mm,
All on them burritos. You don't need to put rice on that thing.
yeah. Suicide, chronic lower respiratory diseases. You don't get to homicide until number 9, which is 2.6%.
That's just because they party hard. They before they get mad, they were like, I'm going to kill. Their stuff is clogged. They wanted to kill the person. They just died from a heart attack first.
You might, I mean, this is kind of crazy. So they're down off of health stuff. But here's the thing. If you look at the same thing for African Americans, give me 1 second.
Now, this is strictly gun violence.
These are just the leading causes of death.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For
you gonna see heart
Are you
disease.
saying in America? Because I'm pretty sure in Mexico it's gun violence.
right, I'm just talking about in America. Number 1's definitely heart disease, cancer, injuries, homicide. Now, for what I noticed for both of them, like if you look at the young people, like that are under 44 years of age, number 1 for Black people is homicide. Whereas, let me see, go back to the Hispanic.
Now, I'm gonna throw something out there. Do they have a vaccine for homicide?
Marriage.
Do they have a vaccine?
That brings homicide too.
Do they have a vaccine for heart disease?
That brings suicide, not homicide. But go.
Nah.
Yeah. See, people don't talk about those issues, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we definitely got look at these different things. For the young Hispanic ones, the number 1 cause is for young ones is injuries, unintentional injuries. Yeah. But
Okay, so like far as like the topic though, 'cause we kind of get off topic. Why do you think talented Black men are dying so soon? Because like what we see, like I think Swanee brought it to attention. A lot of these rappers. I don't know the guy from the Hill District. He was about to pop off, and he died from. Well, was that was gun violence, right? I can't remember, but a lot of them are dying from drug overdoses. So what's your opinion about that? The talented, the famous people, not the average Joe. Will?
I believe they're I believe they're being set up.
Oh, they definitely being set up. I know Pop Smoke, he got killed in Airbnb. And then that one rapper, something Mo, I can't remember, Mo3, he got set up by females.
MO3.
MO3, yeah, he got set up by some females. Yeah.
now, are we talking about in regards to just overall or just the drugs?
Overall,
Okay.
the lifestyle, all that.
I mean, overall, there's a certain type of culture where, if you're talking about Black men, right? We're taught that riches are by what you can show, others.
Mm-hmm.
Other cultures, riches, they want to hide it. They want to, drive regular cars and hide their money in expensive rugs. So, somebody said the IRS don't come after it or something like that. And, those are things that we can change, definitely. But, all this stuff right now where we're taught that we have to display everything, where, we have to keep up with the Joneses. We have to, put someone down over whether they're displaying these things outwardly or not. We got to do away with that part of the culture.
Okay, so Prince died early, Whitney died early, Michael died early. The dude that sings "Computer Love" died early. They're not part of the culture. They're Black, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
but it all goes to what makes you happy. So from what I was talking about, this is stuff that makes people happy. The drugs, unfortunately, and I know there's debate. You know, some people believe that Michael was set up. Some people believe that Prince was set up, and so on. But overall, these drugs, they're self-medicating because it's what they feel makes them happy. That's what it is at the end
Hey,
of the day.
but it's America, right? Shouldn't you do stuff that makes you happy? That's what everybody fought for, to do something that makes you happy, right?
You can, but you got to deal with the consequence. I mean, you could happily go and ride one of them little orange scooters in Pittsburgh on the Parkway, but you'll have to deal with the consequences once one of the cars creep behind you.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Real quick, I don't know how long you got, but I want to ask. I want to play this video real quick, Swanee, and what we're gonna kind of talk about it.
Yep.
Now comedian Pierre. Familiar with Pierre? He was in
Yeah.
How to Be a Player.
Yep.
Basically, he said the vaccinated and the unvaccinated should be segregated. I'm gonna play a quick video of when he said this, and I just want to get your opinion on it, and yours as well, Will. All right. So this is probably the first time you saw it too. All right. Give me a moment. Pull it up right here. All right, here we go.
That does not exclude you from getting the disease, but it does improve your chances that he had contracted the virus despite being fully vaccinated. Now, the CDC has made it known that if you've received your vaccine, that does not exclude you from getting the disease, but it does improve your chances if you are infected. Pierre received tons of support from his viral video, with several other comedians like D.L. Hughley reposting his message. Some would take issue with Pierre for suggesting that vaccinated people and unvaccinated people should be segregated. Today on the show, we have our comedy hype analysts, Capone, Vanessa Fraction, and Pierre on the show to talk about Pierre's experience. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
I'm gonna take this time talking about this COVID thing, man, which I'm thinking is getting out of hand. Just let you know, I am vaccinated. I've been vaccinated since April, fully vaccinated since April. COVID. So I've been on the low. I didn't want anybody to know about it. Yeah, it was bad. I have underlying conditions. I have diabetes and one kidney. But I also knew that getting a shot didn't mean necessarily I was never going to get COVID. I'll be honest, I didn't think it was going to be as bad as I got. When I got it, I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but it was. But it wasn't bad enough to be on a ventilator, and it's not bad enough to be dead right now. So I'm going to chalk it up that the vaccine helped me save my life, or helped save my life. I think we should separate ourselves in the living of this world. We should separate ourselves. If you don't want to take COVID, you don't want to take a vaccine, that's fine. But I don't think you should mingle people who took the test.
Now, as I mentioned, there were some people that are, on both sides, but I think the consensus is we're glad to see, Pierre, that you're doing well and you're able to make it through that. So thank you for that. Capone, I want to come to you first. After seeing that video, what's your reaction to that?
Pierre is very, very, I empathize with some of the shit that he did say about having a kidney and being diabetic. But the separation shit was totally stupid. That's number one. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just being real. The thing that he said that kills me about people is how quick we forget about God. You are sitting here talking about a vaccine saved you. If God wanted you dead, there ain't nothing in this world that can save you. You didn't give thanks to God that I'm here. You didn't be grateful to nothing but a vaccine. And you're trying to convince people to take the vaccine or stay the fuck away from each other. That is white people supremacy talk. White people talk that way. And they've been talking that way for years. And if I've never looked at you as a white racist, I look at you as a white racist right now, because you didn't even say, not even a white name. You gave the Pookies, you gave the tire man that's a black man, and everything that you could possibly do to degrade a black man, you did it. And you said it, and everybody heard it. And the fact that you're half white and half black, your white side took all over you just now.
I definitely appreciate your feedback.
Whoa.
Oh, give me one
Yeah.
second. I gotta pause it. Yes. All right. So let's get into this real quick.
Man, listen, I agree. I agree with him. What was his name? Last speaker?
Oh, I didn't get his name, but he's a comedian
Capone or
now.
something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree 100% of what he said. Again, that's a problem. When you talk about, it's one thing to talk about whether or not somebody should be vaccinated or unvaccinated. That's one conversation. But when you talk about separation of people, you're talking about division of people, which we had a problem with this whole time in this country. Now, the fact that you're taking this vaccine, and like my man Capone said, you ain't thinking God, you're thinking you thinking this vaccine for saving you. God gave you life, God gave you breath, for you to even breathe. You know what I mean? And you praising a vaccine that was created in the lab, that actually killed people at the same time as those who were unvaccinated. So I don't know if he knows all his research. He didn't study the research that's out there, from doctors like Dr. Malone and other people out there that's been involved in this for 50 years or so. So for him to say that, man, it's just terrible. It makes him look bad, and he's gonna have to hold that one on his own. He's gonna have to be accountable for his words. And what Capone said in response to it was perfectly said.
Well, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought it was good that he didn't hold back on it. He just said, like, what you're saying is plain stupid. I mean, it really is. And we've gotten to this place of just stupidity. And, I agree with a lot of what he's saying. A lot of these talking points are usually white liberal talking points that get passed on and disseminated through, other groups, whether it's black people or whomever. But we're at a point where we're saying that we want to segregate people based off of what they decide to put into their body. Man, come on, dog. Ain't that what the little voice?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. But you can't do that. They don't do that with anything else. They don't do that. I hate being around a smoker, but and I used to joke and say, like, man, they need to keep little fishbowl or space helmets over their head whenever they smoke. But I don't really mean that. I mean, you can't do that. You can't segregate and say, all right, all the smokers gotta live over there, and all the fat people, y'all over there causing the health insurance to go up. Y'all gotta go live over there. And all the people with the STDs, y'all gotta go live over there. You can't do that. We're all people. We only have one earth, one society. We gotta function on what's really the truth. And the truth is that we need to all focus on our health. But no one wants to talk about that. We need to get healthy and stay healthy. That's where the segregation needs to be. We need to segregate these bad foods out. How about that?
Oh, perfect.
Keep going, man. You on the roll, man. Go.
Yeah. Keep going, Will. That was perfect, man.
Man, I can get started on this, man. We basically in the land of milk and honey, and people over here complaining because some people have the vaccine, or I mean, this ain't the real land. The real land of milk and honey, it's coming, but they're associating unvaccinated with sick, which is because people who are vaccinated and unvaccinated, they're both getting sick at the same rate. And then we're starting to see the research to come out that it's possible that because the vaccine is not a fully functioning vaccine that's allowing the host to live, this is probably where these mutations are coming from.
That's right.
All right, so check this out. I don't know how long you got. I want to hold on, give me 1 second. I don't want to hold you up, Swanee. You got a little time, or you good?
Yeah, what you about to say something?
I'm about to play another video real quick. We'll
Okay.
talk about it. you got time or not. But
Yep.
uh, 1 second. Let's get into this, man. Here we go. Make sure I get the audio right.
2021, 522 days since this virus emerged and like a sucker punch knocked out all our lives. It's been a horrid time. We've been through a lot. Our lives have changed. But one question, one frustrating question has not changed. Where did it come from? What's the source of the virus? Bats, minks, pangolins, frozen meat, a wet market, a biolab, or is it just some sort of divine punishment? We still don't know. 18 months, 3.7 million deaths, and all we have are claims, counterclaims, conjecture, and theories. One of them is gaining steam, by the way, the lab leak theory. It was initially dismissed as nonsense. We started reporting it from the 4th of February 2020. And since then, we've broadcast more than 100 reports on this. Our reports were dismissed as conspiracy theories. Our interviews were labeled fake news. We faced warnings, bans, and boycotts. China blocked our broadcasts, but we stood by our stories. We stand by them because journalism is not just about stating what's obvious. It's about reading between the lines, joining the dots, raising uncomfortable questions, and putting facts over political convenience. So we kept asking the question on the origin of the virus and a potential link to the lab. And now all of a sudden, everyone is talking about the lab theory. Why now? Do we have more evidence now? Were we distracted by the mess created by China, or were we just waiting for Donald Trump to go? It's important to ask these questions because if we're really victims of an unethical lab experiment or some sort of a bio war, we must ask what took us so long to realize this? Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. US President Joe Biden has a newfound interest in an old theory, the same theory that his party once dismissed. Now they say a lab leak could be a possibility, and the entire world is taking it seriously. On the 14th of May, a group of 18 American scientists published a letter in the journal Science. They said a new investigation is needed because the theories of an accidental lab release and a spillover still remain viable. Then on May 26th, Joe Biden tasked the US intelligence community to take things forward and trace the source. Was it an infected animal or a lab accident? The White House statement said they did not have sufficient evidence to assess. So, what do we know about the lab theory? We know there's a lab in China, the Wuhan Institute of Virology. It's a high security biosafety lab run by the state owned Chinese Academy of Sciences. This lab is the largest virus bank in Asia. It has at least 1,500 strains of deadly viruses. This is where it's located, just 5.5 kilometers away from the Huanan seafood market, which was identified as ground zero for the Wuhan virus. Now, this lab has a long history of shady experiments. In 2005, it published a research on the origin of SARS coronavirus, the one that causes SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. The paper said that China's horseshoe bats were natural reservoirs of this virus. They began sampling these bats across China. In 2012, the lab received samples from an abandoned mine deep in China's southwest Yunnan province, where miners shoveling bat feces had died of a mysterious pneumonia. The fecal swabs were studied. The virus discovered was named rat G13. In 2014, America entered the picture. Scientists from the University of North Carolina collaborated with the Wuhan Institute of Virology. They were trying to artificially
I'm gonna
mutate
just get to
this
this point
virus
when it
through gain of
when it catch up
function
to our time.
research. Gain of function is basically a field of research where dangerous variants and versions of a virus are created. What for? To predict emerging infectious diseases and to figure out ways to tackle them. So China and the US were doing this research together in 2014. America later suspended it, but unofficially, the US kept paying the lab. How? The same year, 2014, America's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, headed by Dr. Anthony Fauci himself, awarded a $3.4 million grant. This was to a New York based health firm called EcoHealth Alliance. This firm paid the Wuhan lab $598,500 over 5 years to study bat coronaviruses. Do you see the link? Was this American money used for gain of function research? The Republicans say it was. They point at an April 2020 email from this health firm's president, Peter Daszak, to Dr. Anthony Fauci. In this email, he thanks Fauci for rejecting the lab leak theory and for stating that scientific evidence supports a natural origin.
Report sending money to the Wuhan Virology Institute.
We do not send money now to Wuhan Virology Institute.
If you think this is bizarre, wait till you hear more. In 2014, Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States, warned that America must be ready because who knows if 5 years from now, a new virus like the Spanish flu pops up. Watch this.
Why aren't you the landlord?
Oh man, hold on. It's getting good.
You the landlord. Every day you go to and from work.
There may and likely will come a time in which we have both an airborne disease that is deadly. So that if and when a new strain of flu like the Spanish flu crops up 5 years from now or a decade from now, we've made the investment.
What will you call it? Coincidence? Farsightedness? Or did America have an inkling of what was cooking in China?
Wow. Obama told everybody.
Man.
Barack
Well,
Obama.
Hey, yes he can. Yes he can, huh?
Yes, he did.
What you think, Will? I see your brain going.
I just started thinking about it. It's like, man, it's a setup. It's been a setup all along. Yeah, but how many viruses? They said like 1,500 deadly viruses over there.
And they're making stuff stronger on purpose. You know what I mean? I believe that. I mean, allegedly, I believe it just came out the lab. I don't know if they meant to do it or not, but that gain of functions research, they were finding viruses from these bats since way back in 2005 it said, and they're making it stronger. And yeah, so
Just think about this real quick. If you guys ever seen the Greek alphabet, everybody heard of Delta, right? That's a Delta variant right now. Now there's it's something called Mu now. Mu is also a Greek letter. Okay. Why are they naming it after the Greek alphabet? I don't know if anybody's paying attention to that, but they're naming it after the Greek alphabet. It's like, okay, why are they doing this? That makes it that more suspicious, that this has something to do with something, above our, I would say, an elitist in this world. It got something to do with this. It ain't just the government of this world. I believe it's the superpowers of this world, man. That's creating these things, man, and causing, mass hysteria, man.
Wow, man, it's deep. I don't know what to say. But yeah, that's. I just wanted to put that out there, that information. But yeah, man. I don't know, but I will say this though. In Florida, I enjoyed. I went to the game, Florida State game, and I enjoyed it. It was a packed house, and it was kind of dormancy, if you will, and I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I seen it. I seen the pictures and the videos, man. It was packed there.
Man, it was sold out. Nobody had a mask. Probably like
I ain't seen one mask.
I tell you that. I said it in the beginning though. I put my mask on when I was getting them tickets. It was like everybody around me. I was like, somebody got COVID up in here, man. But that was just my insecurities. But it was a good time, man. And yeah, I think like what Pierre was saying, because I watched the whole interview. But Pierre, it just sounds like he's just ignorant and just scared, because the media, the mainstream media scared everybody. I was looking at this statistic with people who took COVID, and they were like bragging like there's only 1% failure rate, pretty much a death rate, right? And I'm like, that's the unvaccinated the same way. It's 1%, 99% survival rate. You know, and what I found is because there's starting to be a lot of lawsuits. There was a lawsuit in Detroit at a hospital because they're trying to get people to say if you don't take it by a certain time, you're fired. So a lot of people put lawsuits saying this is against the 14th Amendment. And they were saying, what did they say? Oh, they was bringing up statistics, basically saying you're going against my religious rights or whatever the case may be, and bodily harm. I think that's 14th Amendment. You can probably look it up, Will, if you got a second. But I thought that was incredible that people were fighting back, and then they had a statistic saying that 16,000 people had a fatality for taking the vaccine, and 40,000 was basically have a disability now.
Yeah.
But they're not putting those numbers out. You know what I mean? They're trying to get everybody to take it.
You know who Pierre remind me of? Pierre remind me of that group of our elders that grew up in the 60s. Just vote no matter what. Vote blue no matter who.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's saying in a political sense. Get the vaccine. I've been vaccinated. I got heart disease. I got diabetes. You should vote or you should get vaccinated. Without doing the research or understanding anything, just go get vaccinated. Like I said before, I ain't got nothing against vaccinations, but for him to come out like that ignorantly to say that and then talk about segregating or dividing the people up, vaccinated here and unvaccinated over here, that makes no sense, man. He sounds just like some of the folks that that I debate with or have a great dialogue with about the voting situation.
Those are not great dialogues, man. they come out. I was in a few of them.
I'm just trying to be nice about it.
They are ruthless. Like it's like if you don't do what we do, then forget you and your mama. That's how they get down, man. But
yeah, for
real. It's crazy. Like we have it because you can't bring facts to a emotional fight, man. They don't care about facts at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like everything should be challenged with facts, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't go off of your emotions and how you feel. Have some facts to it. And what I don't like again about politicians and certain matter of fact, real quick, the government they gave the people who make the vaccines the immunity, so you can't even sue them. Like,
that's right.
When you take the vaccine, you signing away like something can happen to you, but you can't do anything about it. Pretty much.
That's right.
So that's the problem I have with the government is because they always giving these people immunity who mess up everything. I'm not saying Pfizer is messing up, but I'm saying in history, when someone make an idea that messes up the whole, a group of people, they never get punished for it, and that's the problem.
That's right.
Like your career is never on the line.
Same thing with the insurance companies. Now, people who allegedly or supposedly died from the coronavirus, they can't even file a claim because insurance companies are saying, well, you took experimental drug and we can't cover you.
Right. Man, see,
it's a shame, but people are not talking about that either. Although the FDA finally approved the Pfizer vaccine, Pfizer is this big pharmaceutical company that got millions and billions of dollars, who pretty much who sleeps with the FDA. A lot of people don't know the FDA is not only funded by the taxpayer, it's also funded by big pharmaceutical companies as well to push their drugs through to get them approved.
And another thing is what I heard is why is not the vaccines not going into the poor countries because they don't have any money to pay them.
That's right, like Venezuela.
Right. So it's all about money. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Totally agree. Will, you got any final thoughts on it?
No, I was just going to say it's definitely a cash shoot. And someone that brought up a interesting thing. I forgot who it was, but there's all these different alternative medicines out there. At one point, they were talking about the hydroxy stuff. Lately they've been talking about the monoclonal antibodies and the what's it called, ivermectin, if I'm saying it right.
Yeah,
But,
talking about.
but the thing was brought up was that the reason why they're not actually pushing these things is because for there to be emergency authorization, for example, for the Pfizer thing, they have to show that there's not a continuous treatment that's going on. So if the other stuff works, they have an incentive to not actually push it because they want to push the Pfizer thing where all the money's really happening.
Wow. Okay.
Dropping a fact.
Man. All right, probably gonna wrap up now, but you want to leave us with anything before you go, Swanee?
Yeah, man. Always appreciate you guys allowing me to come on and to share my thoughts and from my perspective on things. Because we all need to learn from one another. Now, we don't all have the answers, but we can learn from one another. And that's the beauty about just having conversations about the things that's going around in this world, in our country, and in our households, and in our communities as well. So I'm just appreciative to come on this platform and speak with you brothers about that. And we all need to be aware of what's going on, and just share our thoughts with others, and just always bring some positive energy, man. We may not always agree on things, but it's always great for us to come together in brotherly love, man, like it's supposed to be. And I'm just appreciative of that, to be on your show and just share my thoughts and perspective, man. You have a great show, you and Will, and I'm just proud to be part of it with you guys. And guys, if anybody's out there, always tell you guys to subscribe, man, and share this and like this with everybody and share with everybody, with friends and family, because we talk about things that you're not gonna see on mainstream media. We go hard, and thanks to you guys, Ron and Will, for producing such a great show and platform for people to talk about some of the things that's not going to be heard or seen on mainstream media. So I'm appreciative for being on your platform again, man. Love you guys, man, and tune in every Wednesday. TNJ Radio, man. Love y'all guys, man.
Appreciate it, man. Like you too, man. You giving us numbers, man. We appreciate that. Our subscribers is going up, man. Because it's Swanee on that.
The son Swanee, come on.
For real.
That's what's up, man.
Appreciate it, man. How about you?
All right, man.
That was good, man. He always giving us the facts, man.
Coming from the car.
I like that, man, because like you said, we all have different perspectives, but at the same time, we're we're learning from each other, and also, like you said, we're having a good dialogue. Even if we disagree, and that's what we need more of. Because right now, if you disagree, if someone disagree with you right now, they come after you like like you're the worst person ever. I don't want to be around you. So this is showing a good way of getting the message out there and just having a healthy conversation as men.
Right. And especially as men, we have to be able to have the conversation. Otherwise, that's where a lot of those statistics talking about stress and heart disease and all those things. Keep all that stuff inside, then we killing ourselves. And if we don't handle it right, then we can find ourselves angry at someone else. So why not actually take some time, have a conversation, get your disagreements in, get your agreements in, and just go on. Because at the end of the day, I might have my mind changed onto something that's more productive.
Yep. All right, man. We're gonna leave it there, man. I think it was a hot show today, man. So, if you're on here, definitely subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification bell. All right.
All right, guys. Peace.